In this part I will show you how to create a character and object collision. Without it is impossible to use an interactive project. First, let's add a character from the content engine to the project. Right-click in the free field of the content browser. Add feature or content pack. Select first person from the menu. Click Add to project. A new first person folder has appeared in the content browser. Find BP first person character in the blueprint folder. This is our character through which the game process will be controlled. The character is responsible for movement and interaction with the surrounding objects in the scene. Drag the character into the scene and place it where the game starts. Now you need to set up the character, so that when the game starts the system engine understands that you need to start the game in the body of the character. Go to Character Settings. In the Pawn tab change the Auto-Possess player settings from Disable to Player 0. Now on the top panel click on the green arrow to start the game simulation. The game started and the character immediately fell through the ground. This is because of objects in the scene currently have no collisions. Collision is responsible for recognizing a character colliding with other objects in the scene, or when objects collide with each other. Let's move on to creating a collision. Go to the panel for adding objects, volumes, blocking volume. Resize the volume and place it under ground level under the character spawn. Launch the game and test what happened. Create a new folder for collision objects. Now create an enclosing collision around the lot to restrict movement beyond its boundaries. Now the collision works. Continue to adjust the collision. Let's consider a way to generate a collision for scene objects. Select an object and go its editing menu. On the top, click on the Collision tab. In the menu are available different options for generating collisions. Try add the simplified collision. Collision generated. Increase the max hull verts parameters to 32 to improve the accuracy of the generated collision. Now the collision looks more accurate. Apply and save changes. Move on to the collision settings for the next object. Try the same type of generation. Not bad, but in this case I need more precision because this path has a relief gradient and must exactly adjoin other objects. To remove collision, go to Collision menu, select Remove Collision. In the Details panel, find the Collision Complexity option. Change Project Default to use Complex Collision as Simple. This is the most accurate collision option, but it should only be used for those objects where higher accuracy is needed. Save the changes and test what happened. Everything works great. Continue adjusting the collision of other objects. For this section of the LAN, a simple collision is suitable. To create floor collision, use Complex Collision. For terrain geometry, use Complex Collision as Simple. This element of the terrace design has a complex configuration. Try to generate a simple collision. None of the options will work. Take Use Complex Collision as Simple. Keep working. For the pool, use blocking volume. Let's move on to the collision of furniture. Furniture doesn't need a complex collision, a simple collision is enough to limit the intersection of the character. Set up a collision for the furniture on the terrace. Now let's test the scene. Here the character cannot pass, but the collision is generated correctly. This is because the character collision is too big. Double-click on a character to go with settings. This is the Event Graph tab, where the blueprint programming of the character takes place. Go to the Viewport tab. This is my character. This capsule is the character's own collision. Now it has a radius of 55 cm. Reduce this value to 35. Now to apply the changes, click Compile and then Save. Run the game simulation. Now everything works. Now let's move on to setting up the collision of the walls of the house. On objects with stairs, it's better to choose complex collision as simple to get maximum accuracy. Adjust collision settings for interior objects using the optimal collision option. In the same way, add a collision for other interior objects.